Do you guys hear that music or just in the chat? Like if you read my, do you guys hear it from Discord? Okay, so we'll just kind of have this intro. Let's let the live catch up and then we can get started.
Welcome to the show. Hey yo, it's going down. I thought you should know. Said I would never quit, so now I'm in control. With every move, it's getting bigger. I'm so fly, so cold, baby. Check my stilo, step in the arena. They love me in the scene. I'm coming with the heat. I run it, I'm the lead. I love it when you put your hands up. MMA Marks in the building, turn the fans up. Flock. So cold. Baby, check my stilo, step in the arena. They love me in the scene. I'm coming with the heat. I run it, I'm the lead. I love it when you put your hands up. MMA Marks in the building, turn the fans up. Welcome to the show. MMA Marks in the building. MMA Marks in the building. MMA Marks in the building. Welcome to the show. Let's go. Let's go. Welcome to the show. MMA Marks in the building. Welcome to the show. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. MMA Marks in the building. MMA Marks in the building. Let's go. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. MMA Marks in the building. MMA Marks in the building. Let's go. Yeah. Welcome to the Oi, you tapped in, yeah? MMA Marks podcast, run the thing proper. Let's go! Body step in, grapple like king man, sly on the mat, he'll twist up your chin. Counter moves deadly, he don't play like. Drop a man quick like ref, say fight. Came up raw from the OG cage, spit that truth, put the hate on stage. Afro slide through, pressure bust pipes, break your block rough, ruin man's night. Chain combos roll like curry and rice. 1-2 step, he's cold, no nice. TJay lurking, he's cheeky with luck. One swing clean and you're bang out of stock. Think man's joking, nah, from his live. Come on the pod and you'll catch that vibe. MMA Marks, yeah, we show this beat. Put a fire when the real ones meet. Free kings talking, you know it's peak. Better lock him, fam, we don't miss a week. Brothers MMA Marks podcast, buddy Afro TJay. We ain't chatting breeze, we running the scene. Safe.
And it's official, everyone. Welcome to the new MMA Marks podcast. It's same vibes, new people, still me, but we had to replace the old co-host Ricky, R.I.P. Not really. The homie could not no longer be a part of this, but we got two fresh faces here. And in case you guys aren't aware of who I am, I've been doing this MMA Marks podcast for at least six years now, but there was like two years that we had off. This is the first episode back, the new era, if you will, MMA Marks 2.0. I've been a fan since the Ultimate Fighter years. I mean, since the first Ultimate Fighter. Really started out as a huge pro wrestling mark. That's where there's a lot of terminology like MMA Marks. Mark meaning you're the ultimate like fanboy, if you will, you know. And I feel like there isn't much to explain about me right now because those of you who are in here pretty much know where I stand with a lot of stuff, and you'll get to know us better. But I'm gonna pass the spotlight right over to TJay Saunders MMA. Been a long time friend, met many years ago, and tell them about yourself, my boy TJay.
Yeah, I've been around in the community at least for 4 or 5 years. I've been around MMA since I think 2011, 2012. My uncle brought me to a WWE show. Came back home. We rushed home to watch some random UFC fight night card. Immediately fell in love with it. Started getting a little bit deeper into it when Ngannou started fighting. There's just something about watching a man take another man away from consciousness, and he was the one to do that. From there, I kind of spiraled into I wanted to dig deeper. I wanted to see how he was able to do that. So I became a bit more of like a analyst and journalist in that sense. Started working with MMA Island. Was with them for a few years. Got to go out and cover the Jake Paul fight out in Ohio when he fought Tyron Woodley. That was really cool. Yeah, fighting has just been kind of taken over my life the last few years, and this is where it's led to me, and I'm really excited. Hell yeah.
Very tight. And I knew you was a Francis Ngannou mark. He's loved Ngannou since I've known him. Now, let's introduce Afro, who goes live with me almost every day on Twitch. You should know who that is if you've been following us. But spotlight on you, Afro.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Of course, this is Afro. Man, fucking MMA has been a passion of mine for fucking years. I'm 30 now. I think I would have to say I got into MMA when I was like 14 or 15. Just hanging around with the teenage friends and shit like that, getting into fights and everything. So your boy has a couple of amateur fights under his belt. So, I do get out there in the field as well as a couple of unsanctioned fights. Um, and then all the training that I do, I don't go hard in the training anymore as I should, but I plan on picking it back up and going crazy at it and getting a couple of more fights before, actually calling it quits in the fight game for myself at least. So, your boy, like I said, your boy's been in here for a couple, almost a decade or so, if you'd say, when it comes to loving the fight game. And if there's anything to know about me, my favorite fighter or anything, Jim Miller, all the way. Fucking Jim Miller fan. Uh, Followed that man for years. Love him. So yeah, that's a little
Yeah.
about me.
So I would say, and I think that you guys would agree, that the real way that we all as a community kind of got close is, through the UFC gaming, but also the fact that we're all doing UFC game. We're like enthusiasts, if you will, with the game, but we're enthusiasts of the game because of our love for the sport, not because we're shit tier players spamming. Like a lot of times we prefer to be more like strategic in our gameplay and stuff, and we're building a community here. And if you think you would be a good fit or a good, like, if you want to just get involved, make sure you take the time to join our Discord. We watch the fights all together in a watch party in our Discord every Saturday, or every time the fights are rolling, man. And sometimes we throw in random fights, random WWE pay-per-views. So just be on the lookout to be involved with the community. Last but not least, to get involved with the community, we have a verdict league. And if you want to say you got better predictions than us, you want to prove you're the best in the community at predicting the fights, make sure you join our Discord. Join the Discord and join our verdict league as well. Now, let's get into some headlines here. Headlines for the week, right? There's not much like too crazy going on, but I just wanted to take this opportunity to bring up my favorite part of last week's fights in the fight night, and Medic. Man, he's kind of somebody that's been flying under the radar, not really getting much attention, and he came in and he fucking knocked out the King of Kung Fu, Salikov, and he did it with fucking quick work, man. And then he got on the mic and was saying that I'm sick of you guys disrespecting me, man. And he didn't really say it like that, but he was like, I deserve performance of the night, man. I'm getting finishes. So I just wanted to take that opportunity to kind of say to everybody in the community, we got to watch that, man. He's hungry. He wants the fights of the night. He wants the performances of the night. He's going to be a very hot prospect coming in his next fights. Oh, yeah. What about you, Afro? You got any headlines for the week? What you think is worthy of telling the world or talking to the world about?
So just like yourself, like there wasn't much that like caught my attention to like bring to the attention of everybody. But one thing that I will bring the attention to, and this is just because like as a fellow big boy, it sucks, but I also understand why. But Charles Barnett was cut from the UFC.
Chris, close enough.
Yeah, Chris Barnett, whatever. Yeah,
Charles Bennett. You mixed up two different black dudes. One skinny though.
Two fighters. Yeah, exactly. Whatever. Chris Barnett, fucking other fat guy, man. He was cut from the UFC. From for his last performance. Of course, he lost his last fight, and just as a fellow fat guy, like it's sad that I don't remember his name as accurately. Your boy's been smoking a little bit, so excuse me. But
we knew you knew who you meant.
Yeah, exactly, man. It sucks. I followed him ever since he joined into the UFC. I was watching his fights before him joining the UFC. Just watching first of all, he was a super heavyweight before joining UFC, which is over 260 pounds. And this motherfucker was throwing spinning hill kicks and roundhouse hand plants and all sorts of crazy shit that you would only see out of like Yair Rodriguez and people of his size. So it kind of sucks that first of all that like we didn't get to see much of that out of Chris Barnett when through his run in the UFC, but now we definitely won't be able to see that out of Chris Barnett because he's cut. So that's all I really have for like MMA headlines that really stuck out to me for this week.
Yeah, well, to comment on what you just brought up, I can understand. Like, I think that all of us kind of felt that way about Chris Barnett, but I think you might feel a little bit more. Maybe you relate a little bit more because he's a heavyweight who's also kind of shorter. You know what I mean? And bigger. So you already said he had big boy vibes, but he's also a short heavyweight. You've done your fights, and you're like, I would never fight heavyweight again. I'm sick of tall fighters.
Yeah, exactly. So like there's a lot of I guess comparisons that me and him have that are similar and shit. Just the whole trying to fight the whole inside game being a shorter heavyweight, it fucking sucks. It does. It truly sucks. So like it was always hats off to him that he was, starching taller heavyweights at that, like natural heavyweights.
Yeah.
Especially with style.
Yeah, remember when
It was
he did the front
stylish.
flip celebration and like landed on his ass?
Yep, that was after Gian, right? Gian
Volante.
Vigilante or something.
Vigilante. Yeah, the Vigilante. He goes, I think out of all the Vigilantes, it's probably Big Mouth. Either that or Jones, who supposedly saved a woman from being robbed before a fight once. Now, out of like you and I, Afro and myself, we're not so much versed in the headlines and being that guy, but our boy TJay Saunders, man, he said he did a little time in MMA Island, and he's done his fair share of pages on Instagram and stuff like that for headline newsworthy. He breaks a lot of news. I'm expecting you to come with the fire, so I'm setting you up. You better come with better headlines than me and Afro.
Yeah, so the one I'm coming in with is actually one that was broke yesterday at the press conference. Dana was asked, between Sean Brady and Michael Morales, the winner, do they get the title shot? And Dana confirmed it. So that's the headline for two reasons. One, if JDM wins, there's a really good shot that Morales gets that belt within the next year and a half. If Islam wins, who the hell cares? I don't think anybody sees Islam beating Brady or Morales, losing to Brady or Morales. If we're being honest, if Islam wins, he's kind of going to take over that division, and I don't think there's anybody in that division right now that can do anything with him, especially if he beats JDM. Because realistically, what's Brady going to do? Try to outpoint him? Islam's just going to shoot for that leg, take him down. The jiu-jitsu is not going to do nothing against him. Morales is going to have the same game plan, just going to try and knock him out. But how can you knock a guy out who's smothering you on top? So, yeah, that kind of stuck out to me because even the way Dana answered the question at the press conference was kind of like, yeah, sure, whatever, which kind of to me feels like he knows if Islam wins, the division's going to be held up a little bit. Just not held up, but he's going to be champion for a while. It doesn't matter who he's going up against.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So what was the headline? I'm sorry. You said so much and I got confused.
Sorry. The winner of Sean Brady and Michael Morales gets the next title shot at welterweight. So that's the headline.
Well, yeah. Okay. And I would say I also think that that's great news, but at the same time, I get it. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, the hype's there, but if Islam wins, it's like, I like that.
Yeah.
So now it's time for us to do a new segment, actually. This is our first time doing this, and I love the fact that we're going to be doing this. It's going to be a weekly segment, and we're going to be sharing clips of this. We're going to be talking about the asshole of the week and the hero of the week. And also, we want to kind of refer to it as a-hole of the week, kind of make it a little bit more shareable. I'll start things off and say, first things first, let's bring up the hero of the week. For my hero of the week, this podcast episode, it's going to be Sam Alvey. First of all, Sam Alvey was on this podcast before, so I already have a love for him, man. He not only did he talk mad shit on John Jones, calling him a steroid abusing punk, he sang a fucking show tune song on this podcast, and so I mean, I already had love for him. But now he's been doing a lot of things, man. He's been doing like Champ and Karate Combat. And then next, we all hearing all this buzz about some like TikToker or whatever he is talking all this shit, talking about he can whip Sam Alvey's ass. Nobody thought he was going to give this dude a time of day. He's in all due respect, that guy's a fucking nobody. Nobody knows who the fuck he is. But Sam Alvey decided to, you know what? I got time today, motherfucker. He said, you come up to my gym, I accept, and we'll put on a fucking show. Not only did Sam Alvey handle it like a true martial artist by, first of all, not not Sean Strickland and not doing the Sean Strickland thing, like beating the piss out of somebody who's newer. But he also, even after the guy lost, he just wasn't a dickhead, man. He handled it like everybody should in those situations. And I think, weirdly enough, even though he's my hero of the week, side hero of the week, Mayhem Miller, man, they need to get that man on commentary. He did commentary for if you haven't seen the Sam Alvey fight, look it up on YouTube. It's Sam Alvey fought a TikToker or whatever it is, some schlub, just, in his own gym. Dan Henderson was there reffing and shit, bro. It was a fun gym fight or whatever you want to call it. And, Mayhem Miller was a big highlight of that, why that video was so awesome. It was just fun as hell. So between the two of you, I think we're going to go with Afro since we heard from TJay last. Afro, who's your hero of the week?
So my hero of the week happens to be the man that this card is almost like formed around. I mean, not like it's formed around him, but Islam, man, Islam Makhachev. And the reason why he's the hero of the week for me is because during this press conference, if you guys watched this press conference, there was a portion where Islam couldn't get a word in because they were chanting something, and they were chanting John Pork and shit, and for his friend Magomed Zaynukov is so they make fun of him, calling him John Pork. He couldn't get a word in and shit like that. So, like throughout the week they've been, making fun of him because of whatever reason. I don't know if he's fighting on the card. I looked at the card, I didn't see his name. But so all week Islam's been just like at his defense, just like, don't you stop calling him John Pork. Like, he's a good fighter, and he's not me and everything. Just put some respect on his name. So just for him sticking up for his boy, in the fight game, people really don't have to give a fuck about things like that. Like, can completely ignore it and let it just fucking go by. But for the fact that, Islam has the stage that he has, when he speaks, people are going to listen. The media is going to have the mic up to his mouth, and he says, "Hey, leave my fucking boy alone." Respect, brother. Respect. So that's my hero of the week pick for this week.
I do have to say that I interpret that differently. I saw that as Islam trying to rib his boy and trying to encourage it, because most of us didn't know about the John Pork meme and his lesser known fucking teammate. So this is getting him a lot of publicity, and it's encouraging the John Pork comments. So it's like, yeah, I like both sides of that, but I definitely interpreted it that way.
that he brought attention to it. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. But either way, he came out as like a defensive side for it. So it looks good, at least. It looks good. So I can only appreciate that you went that way of defending your boy instead of just like, no, he is fat. Like,
All right, TJay, who's your hero of the week, homie?
For my hero of the week, I picked Ethan Ewing. He is a guy who is not saving this card, but saving one of the more exciting fights on this card. Malcolm Wellmaker, who was originally supposed to fight Sirius City, a guy from around my area. City had to pull out about a month ago because he dislocated his shoulder, has to go get surgery and get some work done. Cody Haddon steps in. Cody Haddon on Wednesday has some sort of issue. We don't know what happened. Rumors are saying that it's a weight cut thing. He couldn't make the weight, so he kind of pushed himself too far. So then Ethan Ewing steps in on less than 2 days' notice, makes weight. And not to mention, last Friday, 1 week ago today, he won the belt in Uriah Faber's A1 Combat. So this guy is on a week turnaround, makes weight twice, championship weight twice. I think he came in today at like 146.2 or something like that. So whatever. But last week he made championship weight. And you know what? He didn't look horrible doing it. So he's coming in, and I think this fight's going to be one of those fights that it's undercard, is prelims, but it's going to be one that people talk about. Wellmaker's a knockout machine. Ewing's a finish machine. He's good on the ground. He's good on the feet. So he saved a pretty good fight.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta agree. I also almost made him the hero of the week, but like I said, I already had ties with Sam Alvey, so I had to show love to the boy. I'm very excited. That's one of the most excited. That's one of the fights now, even though it just got announced like recently because he saved it. It's literally one of the most exciting fights on the card now. You know, two hot young
Yep.
prospects. One's undefeated. One's got less than only 2 losses on his record, but fucking knocking people out left and right too. They're both knocking motherfuckers out in the first round, bro. It's gonna be a fucking slobber knocker, to quote Jr. And that just brings me into the unless anybody wants to speak on that hero of the week again. My boy Afro, did you have anything to say? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, you didn't cut me off, brother. I am no, that was my hero of the week pick. So I'm good.
Okay. So, asshole of the week, a-hole of the week, for me, it was a fucking dead ringer. She pissed me off. I can't believe that she was saying the thing she said. Speaking of which, I was a huge fan of her, especially in her come up. Ronda Rousey, she did a heel turn on all MMA fans, and I just can't believe it. She's not only is she attacking Joe Rogan, saying he's not an expert, she's saying that like Khabib was a bitch for leaving MMA and UFC when he did, saying that MMA fans got the fucking Khabib's dick in our mouth or so. It's like, bro, you're saying some kind of fucking. She's really trying to heel turn. She's really playing into the. I'm just saying things just to piss people off because I mean maybe she does feel that way, but if she does, she's dead wrong, and I can't agree with her. So,
I have to
I was
completely.
gonna say, I see Afro agreeing with me a lot. What do you got to say on this, homie?
Yeah. I was about to say, I completely agree with you on this, man. Rhonda has been getting under my skin ever since she was in the fucking UFC. So to see all this media, whatever publicity stunt, maybe WWE taught her a couple of techniques on how to be a heel to the audience or something, and maybe she's just taking that and utilizing it. But if that's not the case, then like, dude, you suck. You honestly suck. Like
Yeah.
you. Man, there's just so much to break down about you. Your striking is terrible. Cool, you're good at judo. That's the thing that got you in the UFC. You put women's MMA hypothetically on the map.
Yeah.
Cool. But
Because it was gifted to
half of
you.
the shit that yeah,
Literally.
exactly.
She
But
was
half of the
handpicked by
shit
Dana.
half of the shit that she comes out of her fucking mouth with, it's so infuriating. It's like I wanted to like you, and I still want to somewhat like you, but the things that you say about MMA fans, about people who the MMA fans actually look up to for, their sports or the MMA, just with Joe Rogan and shit like that. Like you're slamming all these people, and you are dog. You're dog. You're washed up. Like the WWE was the best move that you could do outside of the UFC because other than that, you were toast. You would have been forever retired if it wasn't for the WWE scooping you up.
But
So
also,
please
but
be
also
humble.
didn't do well in the WWE, man. She had a bad attitude over there, and the fans turned on her. Not even as a good heel.
Fans turned on her. The back room turned on her. Everybody turned on her.
And that's ridiculous to turn so many people against you and then think that anybody's gonna even back your comeback of any sort. Like what MMA promotion would sign her because she keeps doing all these MMA training videos of like, oh, I'm getting better and this and that. Get the fuck out of here. Honestly, you're trash. Like what
I could still see
you'll
her getting a spot on the White House card just from the name. A
Yeah,
Colby
100%,
Covington
if she
style.
wanted it.
Like she's literally Colby Covington tier. She's just a shit talk. At this point, she's just somebody that talks shit and does not back it up. Does not have the ability to back it up as they might have once been able to.
And
But the
that's why
thing about
it's done.
Colby is at least he'll fight. Fucking Ronda is there to be a punching bag, and then all you got to do is avoid anything that deals with the grappling. And if you have the technique and the skills to avoid takedowns or the clinch or the grappling, the headlock for judo toss, if you avoid anything that deals with judo, guess what happens to Ronda? She gets fucking weeble wobbled. And it's amazing how a lady like that can talk so much shit with any of her last performances in the octagon. Like
Yeah,
it's
you're only as
crazy.
good as your
It's
last
crazy. So
performance, and
Mhm.
nah,
yep.
it
So
ain't. That
I
ain't
could go on
it.
forever. I could go on forever. Ronda Rousey, you're for sure my asshole of the week. Yeah, I'm done.
To kind of add on to that a little bit, she's not my a-hole of the week, but just to drive it into the ground a little bit. Hot take: women's MMA didn't really ignite it. There was no spark there until Ronda got knocked out. She may have been the big name in the atmosphere at the time, but when did it start getting good? It was after Holly Holm put an end to her, and then you got Valentina coming out of the woodworks and Nunes coming out of the woodworks, and so if anything, thank you Ronda for getting knocked out. It's simple as that. My a-hole of the week, though, has got to go to Isaac Dolgarian. For those who may or may not know, a couple weeks ago, he was on a card. I can't remember the guy he was fighting now, but he was a huge favorite, negative 250, which is you have to bet $100 to win $25 pretty much. An hour leading up into the fight, his line drops dramatically to negative 154. So, people are starting to look into it. It's weird. But not only that, his opponent starts getting a massive increase in bets on first round finish. The FBI ends up calling Dana before the fight even happens, tells him to check in on shit. Dana does. Dana says he doesn't find anything, but that'll be soon to come out. Long story short, Dolgarian gets cut from the UFC for potentially fixing fights. He's now being investigated by the FBI. The last time this happened with James Krause, I don't know with the rest of y'all, but I'm a betting man. I like to put my money down. When the James Krause stuff happened, Ontario took away all UFC betting. And I'm kind of waiting on that to happen with this as well, because it's the same kind of situation. If anything, it's more drastic. The FBI are full-fledged involved. They've announced they're involved. They've announced some referees' involvement, who they're looking into that. So, yeah, screw Isaac Dolgarian. Screw him for screwing up my parlays, and potentially the future of my betting career.
Yeah, and real quick though, the whole world could potentially, or not the whole world, but not just in Ontario. It could
Yep.
affect MMA betting completely. But I've seen lots of people make a lot of points, man. If you're a fighter, you guys know and think like it. If you're a fighter, you're coming in and 10 to show up, 10 to win, and somebody comes up and offers you extra money, you need that fucking money. So until they start paying these guys, even the fucking ones, a reasonable pay, they're gonna find the guys who need the money. It's not just who wants more money. Sometimes there are, it, it'll happen a lot less if these guys get paid a little bit better, a reasonable price. And
that's all it comes down to, is just the money.
That's one of the biggest things to happen in MMA in recent. And you're right, asshole of the week completely. I'm kind of nervous for the future, because it's like for the future of UFC and MMA, because I know a lot of people are disgusted with the sport, and like NBA just had a big fucking fall. UFC's been on the rise, but I'm a little nervous now because of this, man. This next card this is literally the card after this all really broke. So it is a little interesting. Are we going to see anything? I know I'll be watching to see if we see any excuse me, to see any fixed fights.
Yeah, anything weird, suspicious activity from fighters.
Well, the thing too is, if it's really as common as, because a lot of people are coming out, ex-UFC fighters, saying they were asked to fix a fighter to go down in a certain round. What's going to be interesting to me is how many fights tomorrow, like how different does it look knowing that there's potentially been 2 or 3 fights on a card that have been fixed? It's kind of like some people are looking at numbers that way.
Yeah,
So like
exactly.
tomorrow, is every fight going to be a banger? Is every fight going to be 2 guys going in there to show out and just to prove that they're not trying to fix the fight?
I hope so.
Uh, yeah, that's what it should be. That's what the whole sport's supposed to be. And unfortunately, Bulgarian and guys to the likes of him are kind of screwing that up for the rest of us.
Yeah. And you know what? I can't disagree with any of our picks for a-hole and hero of the week, but in a way, I gotta say the main a-hole of the week really is Bulgarian because it's potentially ruining the whole sport. It's ruining people's enthusiasm for betting. You know, Ronda is doing stuff, but it's more in character. Like people in chat like Michigan coming in and saying that if you hate Kobe Covington for his personality, then you're a mark. I agree, and that's what I was gonna actually comment on earlier when Afro was speaking. You know, as pro wrestling fans growing up, a lot of us see through that gimmick. A lot of us see that Ronda is doing this purposely, but it's still I had to mention it because I like playing the mark sometimes. You know, I like being putting the curtain over to like not putting the curtain, you know, not seeing behind the curtain, just staying into the world of being a mark, a clueless mark. It's fun. But let's move on to the fight picks and locks, man. I mean, we got huge fights. We got two fucking main events. Some say come main event and main event, but you know what? There's two title fights. They're both main events. Men's is going to be above the women's. That's just how it is. One more thing, since we're talking about women's MMA, TJay, before you went into your asshole of the week, you were commenting on Mr. Aphrodisiac's comment. Well, guess what? I was disgusted with you. You said it didn't. Women's MMA didn't get good until Ronda got knocked out. Bitch, I'm still waiting. When is it gonna get good? The fuck is you talking about? The most time all of us tune out when the women are fighting, bro. Like the fuck didn't get good. We want circus fights for women fights, man. We want to see the dumb shit. Like tonight or tomorrow night, we got another both main events. We got a person of a lesser weight moving up in weight. We don't even have true actual defenses happening. I mean, some people look at this as even bigger as that because it's a super fight. You got a champion of a lower weight division moving up. Like there's hype behind that, but there's also a little bit of like, that's not even a fucking true not one. It's not even a true 170 fighter. It's not even a true 135 or whatever weight class Whaley and Valentina are fighting at. So to get right into it, let's talk about lock of the night. And whoever wants to jump in here first, I say, TJay, you look like you're the most ready. You tell me who your lock of the night is.
So we kind of touched on it earlier with my hero, but I mean, it's hard not to pick Matthew Wellmaker.
Okay,
Wellmaker.
yeah.
Knockout, round one. I'm like, on a scale of 5, I'm probably at like a 4. I'm pretty confident in that. If I was to put money on tomorrow's card, I'd be putting a good 15, 20 bucks on that outcome. Ewing, like I said, 2 weight cuts in a week. It's not good for you. It's not good for your head. It's not good for your body. Yeah. He's also debuting, which, you know, there's that pressure there. There's that kind of, holy shit, I'm in the UFC. I'm about to make that walk. There's a crowd here, and people are going to show up for that Wellmaker fight, especially in New York. New York, they're not casual fans. Theo Vaughn's going to be sitting right there ready to go. So walking out and seeing everybody, there people, and they booed him at the weigh-ins today, at the ceremonial weigh-ins. He got booed almost out of the building. So how is he going to respond to that? I don't think it's going to be well. Wellmaker's going to get a huge applause coming in. Wellmaker's going to finish him quick, get a bonus, get out, probably fight again in January, February.
To speak on that real quick, I was confused. I know a lot of you guys in here, you probably watched those ceremonial weigh-ins and stuff, but if you haven't, I thought the fight fans were a little bit off, man. There's people getting booed that I wouldn't expect, vice versa, people getting cheered. They were very, very strongly opinionated. I can't say I agreed with everybody's opinion on who they were booing and who they weren't.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Afro, who's your lock of the week? You got a nice bet lock for everybody?
I mean, man, really, how could you go wrong with Islam? For real. I know a lot of people are like saying JDM has, you know, the weight and probably the size and everything, but a safe, like, no, man, a safe bet for sure is Islam. Like, yeah, brother, number one. Thinking that he's not gonna win is number one bullshit. I tell you, like it.
Father's plan.
That would be
Fine.
that would be my safe lock of the night for real. You
Yeah.
know, but yeah, that would be it.
You know what the best thing about that is like, the way you're presenting that is like, it's obvious because it fucking is. It's a lock. It's fucking obvious.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no,
But
no,
there
it's just
are,
obvious, bro. It's obvious.
more commonly recently, we've been seeing most people say JDM's going to get it, but that's because they want to be the guy who called it. That's all it is. We know Islam and the Dagestani wrestling is supreme fucking superior fucking strategies here. So I agree with on both of those locks. I picked both of those fighters, but my lock, and I'm glad neither one of you picked it, is Leon fucking Edwards. Dude, I keep forgetting
Good
he's
luck.
on this card, bro. And Leon and y'all must have forgot about Leon Edwards. Not you guys, but like the people, man. He's like, what is he? The first fight of the main card, and he's fighting Carlos Pratas. I mean, I feel like that's fighting down like crazy, bro. And I feel like that's a super lock. It's like, bro, how many? Leon Edwards has had to go against the top of 170, and I know Pratas is coming up, but he's still, those fight nerds are not doing well. And I think that Pratas is lacking in grappling, and I think that even if Leon Edwards is primarily a kickboxer, boxer style, I think that he, if he needs to, has the tools to fucking control the fight with the grappling and everything else. So the lock of Leon Edwards winning this fight completely, I fucking 100% think that's the best lock. I can't tell you if he'll finish this fight, but I know it's a lock that he'll get that dub.
So, if I can chime in on this, so
Oh,
like
100%.
this was
Both
actually
of you.
this this was a fight that I wanted everybody to look out for real. Is Leon Edwards versus Carlos Pratas. Uh, there's a lot for real weighing for this fight. Like I feel personally, anyways. Like, cause if Leon loses to Carlos Pratas, what's next for Leon? Like, I feel like it's ultimately like figuring out if he wants to retire or if he's gonna take one more fight to see if he's got it. But like,
You think he's that far
this
into
could
his career?
potentially.
Is he? Am I missing something?
I mean, he wasn't so far behind Usman for real, and Usman is kind of like out of here.
I
You
think
know,
Usman
he's
still got
getting
a
lost.
championship reign in his career too. Maybe I'm crazy.
Well, if you like you could think that about Usman, but I don't think that about Leon at all. I don't think like even if Leon beats Carlos, like which then that's a whole different side, right? But if Leon beats Carlos, like I don't see him beating JDM or like any like I don't see him beating the top. Like anybody else in the top. Um, but that's not saying like I don't see Carlos beating anybody else in the top.
Right?
This is gonna be a tough. This is gonna be a tough challenge for real for Carlos. I feel. Uh, but if he loses, man, like that's gonna be a hell of a climb back to the belt for him, as well as you had your whole fucking fight camp, your whole team take an L now. Like the last win that fight team has, I believe was his last win.
Yeah. I mean,
So if
right
he
now
takes
he is their number one guy at this point after John Silva took a L the way he
yeah,
did.
so like if he takes an L here too, like bro, like it's just gonna be all bad for their team, bad media, bad publicity until somebody comes out and really puts that team back on the map if they decide to stay a team. Because at this point, like me personally, being a fighter and having the whole team taken out, I'd be outsourcing.
Black
I'd be outsourcing a little bit.
for those older OG fans, Black Zillions all over again. You know, Shot Evans,
Yeah.
baby. But so I want to say like Swayze and Chad talking, and he's speaking on a point that I was trying to get to. You know, one thing that I forgot about Leon Edwards is sometimes he's a bit of a head case. You know, that's why I personally like Usman better, even though Leon has bested Usman in a knockout and stuff. I still personally like Usman better. And you know, and me saying that I still feel like Usman has a title run on him. Michigan speaking in chat saying, nah, Usman's done, but he's great. Well, I disagree because he's been pushing himself and looking better. And I believe that him versus Chimaev is a very, very potential future fight. They fought, and Usman took that fight on very short notice when they did fight. And it was before Chimaev was champion of 180. Is he champion of 185 now? Am I crazy? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was before he went to 185. Usman's been wanting to move up to 185. I think that the rematch was already interesting before Chimaev got the championship, but now that he has the championship, I think Usman in a 5-round fight against Chimaev is a potential fucking championship title reign right there for that. Not to go too much into potential fights here, because I know we're kind of talking
I'll tell you,
322.
that would be a fight I would love to see. A 5-round Usman versus Chimaev fight.
Yeah, full fight camp, not short notice. Like he had better cardio than Chimaev in a short notice fight for 3 rounds. Imagine him fucking full fight camp fighting Chimaev 185. Usman's gonna kill him. Yeah. Well,
I think that fight, if it were to happen, we're playing the if game.
yeah.
I think Chimaev. I think a fully healthy Chimaev against a fully healthy Kamaru, Chimaev takes him down and does whatever he wants with him. I don't think there's a person on the planet, let alone on the UFC roster, that can control Chimaev, or not even control him, just defend against what Chimaev has in power and just pure grit. And I love Kamaru.
Have you, not to get too off topic, by chance, have you guys ever seen, it was the Ultimate Fighter, series that they were doing, and they had Armin Sukari in there, wrestle Khamzat Chimaev? Did
I
you
haven't
guys
seen
ever
that.
watch that grappling exchange?
Mm-mm.
Dude,
No.
Armin did, we'll watch that after, but Armin,
Held
man,
his own.
like,
Oh, I did see
yeah,
clips of it.
so
I just didn't. When you said Russian Ultimate Fighter, I'm like, there's no way. But I've seen clips.
so to think that there's nobody out there to control Chimaev, I don't think that's necessarily true. I think it's just understanding how to control his explosiveness, his explosive speed. He's so fast at what he does. He's so fast at his takedowns. He's so fast. He's so fast at what he does, right? If
Yeah.
you can control that speed, figure out how to maintain that distance, and then figure out how to, like, lock him down for real. I mean, but I guess that would be everybody's game plan, is figure that shit out. But my point is Armin's smaller and he was holding his own. It looked like he was figuring out how to do it, or
Yeah.
at least how to get his own subs in on Chimaev. And it was Chimaev, man. It's Chimaev doing Chimaev things. So expect him, like, trying to grapple somebody. He's full force in it, trying to take you down, whip you, leg lock, single leg, double leg,
Every time.
underarm to the back, and Armin held his own. So I
100%.
think if somebody out there can solve that puzzle.
Yeah. And I wanted to comment on that as well. I wanted to kind of say, like, what TJ was saying, like, he thinks that Chimaev would just dominate him or whatever in the grappling. You know what? I agree. He probably would, because he comes with the quickness, but I give him a round, maybe a round and a half, and then the rest of the rounds are going to be Usman. He only has a cardio for so long, and Usman knows how to be heavy and let him be the aggressor for a round or two strategically, and then just win the last 3 rounds. He'd turn it up on him. I think that Usman is good enough to do that, and that's why I want to see that fight. I want to see if Chimaev can finish him, or if Usman's going to win a strategic victory decision.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a banger fight. I'm on board with it.
So TJ, Who's your underdog pick or your underdog play, whatever you want to, however you betters call it? Because I'm so out of the betting game right now. I just say who I think's gonna win, who I don't. What's your underdog play for this
If
week?
I would probably go Chepe Mariscal. He's fighting Pat Sabatini, who's been admittedly on a tear of his own, but they're both on a tear. Chepe's on an 8-fight win streak. He's beaten Jack Jenkins. He's beaten Ricardo Ramos. He's beaten Trevor Peek. These aren't nobodies. I mean, besides maybe Peek. Sabatini's on, I think, a 2 or a 3-fight submission streak, which is cool. But I think Chepe's just going to come in with the pressure. He's not going to be able to get Chepe into a submission as easy as he was his last few opponents. I'm like kind of stuck in the middle with this one. I can see Sabatini getting it done, but if I were to put money down, and it's going on Chepe. He's got all that the force behind him, man. He's coming in with a huge support back home. He's coming in ready to get into that top 15, top 10, wherever he's ranked right now. I think he's the guy to do it. If there is one underdog on this card that's going to win, I was stuck between Chepe and Adolfo Vieira. But Vieira is just, yeah.
So I didn't know that Pat Sabatini. I didn't look at that fight too hard. I didn't know that he was the underdog. How close is that line? Did you look and see what the line was at?
Yeah, so Sabatini is a negative 175 favorite. Chepe is a plus 125 underdog.
Okay, so that's what I meant. Okay, so Sabatini is okay. So you're saying, yeah, I also agree with that choice. I picked. Let me see how to pronounce that name one time. I'm gonna try to read it. Say it one more time for me, TJay. It's a hard name for me. The underdog play.
Yaroslav. Oh, I forget his last name. The Russian Santa Claus guy, right?
No, that's not him. Are you talking about that's who your underdog pick was? The guy that's fighting Sabatini?
No, mine. Oh, Chepe. Sorry, I thought you were talking about something else.
Oh, Chepe. That's
Chepe
good.
Mariscal.
Okay, so I also picked Chepe to win by decision because Sabatini, like, I agree, Sabatini's good, but like this guy Chepe's proven himself as a guy who's a determined winner. He hasn't taken an L. How long did you say? It's been a long time either way.
8-fight win streak.
I'm rooting for him. I think Sabatini already hit his peak in the UFC. So as a fan of like hype and stuff, I'm like, if Sabatini doesn't do something big, he's fighter removed from fighters to watch. You know what I mean? Like, fuck him. We ain't worried about no Sabatini. Afro, did you have anything to say on this fight? Before I ask TJ a question real quick. The fight between Chepe and Pat Sabatini, did you have any input, or did you kind of agree with us?
No, I agree.
Okay,
Yeah.
so a good question in chat for TJ, and then me and Afro will answer this as well because I want to touch on this. Who's a better fighter? I mean, who's a better grappler, John Jones or Hazmat?
Hamzat, 100%. I truly believe Hamzat, and not because he has the best technical grappling. I think because of his, like Afro said, his quickness, his abruptness, his strength, his control. I think it doesn't matter who's in front of him, especially if it's a 5-round main event championship fight. He's holding down whoever he wants. John Jones, Daniel Cormier, Kamaru Usman. It doesn't matter.
And then
I would have to.
Oh, perfect. Go ahead.
I would have to agree with TJ on that, honestly, because I like to look at it at like I don't know, at like an equal level, you know. So I think of it as Hamzat at the same height and weight as John Jones, who's going to win that grappling match. Then, you know, I think the core discipline that most Russians, Shazakians, you know, all those guys over there in the Russian areas over there, Europe countries, whatever.
All the stands.
Yeah, all of those guys have a good core understanding when it comes to grappling and wrestling. And it's not saying that John Jones doesn't have good wrestling or he can't even learn it. He's just not there yet with their disciplines when it comes to grappling, I feel. You know, because they're beaten and shit probably for not hitting a single leg in the right way.
Yeah.
So
Islam
I
said it
think
the best.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Finish it off.
no, I just think the discipline is what plays that deciding factor of who's a better grappler, which Hamzat has.
Islam said, I don't know if it was a press conference or just a DC sit-down interview. Here in America and in the Western world, if you want to call it that, we have options. We can go into wrestling if we want to. We can go into kickboxing. We don't have to do any of it if we don't want to. Over in Dagestan, over in Chechnya, over in certain parts of Russia, you have one option, and that is to become wrestler. You are going
Yeah.
to go into wrestling when you're a child, and you're going to go, you're going to compete, and you're going to win. And if you don't win, you get home and you get reprimanded. When Habib did all that stuff against Connor, one of the first interviews he did right after, somebody had asked him, how do you think your father's going to react? What do you think? How is going back home going to be? And it's the only time I've ever seen fear in Habib's eyes. I don't think he had processed it yet. I don't think he thought about that. But a man like Habib, got scared of going back home and having to face the consequences of his actions. They don't mess around over there, man.
Yeah.
You're going to be great or you're going to be punished.
And for my answer, I'll just kind of plainly put it. If we're talking and analyzing it as grappling within the MMA, within the UFC, pure grappler analytic, yeah, Chimaev is a better grappler. But John Jones is the better MMA fighter, proven with all his victories. But Chimaev is still earlier in his career, and like Afro's point, man, if they went at it, John Jones would have a decent advantage because he knows his grappling is all about utilizing and taking advantage of his size advantage, and Chimaev might be able to not utilize that, but nullify that, but it's not likely. So it's like that's an interesting grappling match. I don't know who would win if they actually grappled, man to man, but grappling as a pure grappler analytic, if you will, if you put that hat on, Chimaev is the better grappler. And I loved what he did to fucking Whitaker, bro. Snapped his jaw with a headlock, my dude, with the jaw crank or whatever they call that shit. Bro.
Quick, first round. They weren't even slippery yet.
Bro. Insane. But you all know I'm a fucking Jones mark. He's one of my favorite fucking fighters of all time and stuff. And I can't wait to see him fight in the White House. And he's probably fighting Alex Pereira now, which is fucking a good headline that we should have brought up. But Pereira versus Jones is the new rumor of what's gonna headline the fucking White House card.
Jesus Christ.
But that's the fight I called for even when Aspinall got announced. I'm like, fuck Aspinall. I'd rather see Pereira fight. It just makes more sense to me as a fight fan because it's a legacy fight. Fighting Pereira is fighting a literal Hall of Famer in kickboxing who came over and became a double champ in MMA, in UFC, dominated everybody in UFC, had a couple of L's, but took them great, came back and got his fucking dubs. So Pereira is a way more interesting fight for Jones. It's a legacy fight. It actually means something for somebody like Jones. Aspinall, who I've been saying forever since it got announced, Aspinall does dick all for fucking Jones, bro. Aspinall's nothing. And now that he got eye poked and handled it the way he did, and possibly still injured, by the way, but it's like, bro, like, let's talk about the meme worthy of it. John Jones is literally the most infamous eye poker. You think you would be able to see after fighting Jones Aspinall? You fucking weirdo.
Good damn.
What do you guys think about that fight? Do you guys think Pereira can pull it off?
Oh, brother. First of all, my mouth was watering right now just thinking about the fight. Like, that is such a good fucking fight. Like, just to think, guys, just everybody take a second. And we're going to think about this. Think of the announcement that John Jones and Alex Pereira have been confirmed for the White House. Think of all the hype around it. Fucking two legends for real in the MMA game. Like, this fight has the potential to be 10 times better than Israel Adesanya versus Anderson Silva. Because let's not all forget how hyped everyone got for that fight.
Oh,
But
yeah.
was it as hype? Was it as hype for real? I'm gonna be honest here. I'm gonna say that fight was a little for as much hype as that we put on that fight. It wasn't as hype. It was kind of boring. And I get it. You know, it's a kickboxing chess match. Blah blah blah. I wanted to see some tornado kicks being. I wanted to see two motherfuckers spinning in a cage like Beyblades, bro. That's what I wanted to see at that point. But with the John Jones and Alex Pereira fight, I feel like we're gonna see some fireworks if that gets fucking made for real. It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
real quick, TJ, I want to say this. Interesting point, and you're fucking up my hype, Afro, because that was a great point. But you know, and potentially going to happen again because Anderson Silva, when he fought somebody like Israel Adesanya, we all seen at when the fight happened, it was a matter of Silva's out of his prime. He didn't look like the old Silva, and Izzy was a fanboy in a way, trying to be respectful of the legacy of Anderson Silva. And then, so that could be a potential, but I doubt it. I don't think Pereira's like that. I think he's looking at this as the greatest fight of all time. And TJ, what did you have to say?
Yeah.
Just around the Jones and Pereira fight itself, I think this fight goes one of two ways. Either Pereira comes out and does what I think a lot of people are hoping for him to do and knocks him out within 15, 25 seconds, the way he did Ankalaev, just comes out swinging, hoping to get on that chin. Or John Jones keeps his distance, gets a few groin shots, gets a few eye pokes, maybe a point deduction in the second or third round, but then just coasts him to a decision victory. Either way, I think the fact that the Pereira punch is going to be there the entire fight will keep everybody on the edge of their seats. But if it doesn't happen early, I think that it might be one of Jones's worst fights. Like watching it back, trying to rewatch the fight. Like I said, we're all going to be tuned the fuck in.
Put some fucking spec on my man's name, though. You just
Oh, no,
totally
that's
dismissed
pure.
that John Jones wouldn't even shoot a takedown or anything.
No,
Like,
that's what I was
on
getting
now.
into. The pure fact that John knows that those fists are the issue, I think he's going to do everything he can to just get a victory. I think he's at a point now, his whole attitude with the way he speaks about fighting is just, I'm the best. I'm going to come in. I'm going to win. I'm going to prove I'm the best. He was able to do what he did to Serial because that was an open hole in his game. Everybody kind of knows that's where Serial lacks. With Pereira, it's not so different. Go hold him against the cage. Go take him down. And that's like the Ankalaev fight. The first Ankalaev fight sucked. And I think that's what we're going to get with John Jones, just because he is able to do that against someone like Pereira.
Well, the Ankalaev fight, the first Ankalaev fight, he had a shattered splint or whatever the fuck it's called. He had a sprained shin or whatever, or something, or a fucking half broken leg, whatever. But his foot was a balloon. His foot was a balloon. Let's fucking make a goddamn. Let's make a statement here. Clippable moment where we can go back and look when this fight actually happens in about a year from now. Lock your fucking picks in. Alex Pereira versus John Jones. Who wins? What fashion? What round? Call it right now. Afro, you go first.
Calling it right. Afro's calling it right here, right now. Lock it in, boys.
Lock it in.
Alex Pereira. Fucking round 4. Body kick TKO.
Damn. Okay. TJ?
I'm going to manifest this because I want to happen. Round 2, Alex Pereira, knockout, quick in the second round. I want the first round to be competitive. I want John to look good so that people can't just be like, John was washed, John's old, this and that. I want John to look good in the first round, and then Pereira to come out and just starch him, take him out.
I think that he'll do.
Right, Mark?
I think that he will do to Pereira what he did to Cyril Gane. I think it's gonna be a first round submission. I think that Jones's grappling is good enough, and he's lanky enough to where he will push him against the cage, wrap him up in something. First round submission, son. Okay. Lock that shit in. Clip that shit, motherfuckers. Lock that shit in. Make sure we clip that. Clip it.
Side note: Tom Aspinall still beats John Jones.
Tom but no, he would get eye poked immediately, and Jones would fucking take a point and still win.
I don't even want to talk about Aspinall. He's so fucking sad right now, bro. Like, he had one opportunity. The one opportunity you had to make to have everybody put some respect on your fucking name, and you I mean, I get it. It's an eye poke, but like, goddamn, bro, you went out bad, and now you'll never get that Jones fight.
Yeah.
To be
You're gonna
fair,
be chasing it forever.
he's still blind in that bad eye. He still can't see out of that eye. So it was valid enough to do some legit damage. What, a month out now? 3 weeks
Yeah,
out?
but you can't recover and be like, Jones, where you at? Like, no,
Yeah, no.
bro, you
He's
gotta
got to do something first.
yeah, you gotta get that rematch with Cyril, if anything.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
if anything.
Yeah. So
Yep.
to get us back on track, who do you guys got in the co-main? We got Valentina Shevchenko taking on Wally Zhang or Zhang Wally.
Hold on.
Okay, what I miss? You
Hold
tell
on.
me. Put me
You
back
didn't let
on
me
track.
pick my underdog. You didn't let me pick
You
my
didn't-
underdog.
I skipped you? That is my bad.
Yeah, you let me see.
Fine.
I wasn't. So
I didn't
there's a
pick my
reason why
underdog.
I'm not
I didn't
letting
even
this
pick.
happen.
I didn't even pick my underdog.
Exactly. What are you doing? We ain't
I thought
pick
I
our
was in
underdog,
control.
guys.
I thought I was in control. Chat,
I
we're
couldn't
blaming
let
you.
I couldn't let it happen, guys. I'm sorry, and you'll understand why. So my underdog pick for this fight card is none other than my baby boo, my precious thing, my sweet thing. You can message her on her Instagram and ask her if she knows me. She'll say no, but she does. She knows me. Angela Hill, man, that's my boo. Like, that is my underdog pick of the week. She'll be fighting Fatima Klein. Now, so if you're not familiar with Angela, man, her record is not. It's not the best. It's not the best. Like, her last fight was a loss, and then it was a win, and then a loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. You know, it's very all over the place, right? But she's got so many fucking fights in the UFC, which I think this is gonna play in her advantage against Fatima Klein, because Fatima Klein only has 3 fights in the UFC so far. Her first fight was a loss, but the last 2 fights have been dubs. So she's kind of coming in on a hot streak, if you'd say. But I have faith in my baby girl. I'm crossing my fingers, her fine ass. Oh, Angela, if you ever watch this podcast, girl, give me a chance. No, I treat you right. Fucking, that is my underdog pick for this fight card. 100%. Lock it.
So let me kill your fantasies like you killed mine against Alex versus Jones. If you haven't seen her husband, have you seen her husband?
She's married.
So he's a white guy. She's into white guys. I got more of a chance. Angela, if you see this, tell your boy, come holla at your boy. She has a preference. She might not.
You went from just crushing dreams to just trying to steal her. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm stealing your dreams. I stole that shit. But I think that she does have a white husband, by the way. Go ahead,
Just
TJay.
to stomp on Afro a little bit more, or not on Afro's dreams a little bit more. I got Ludwig Klein. I got Klein winning by split decision because
Dude,
Angie seems to
me
be on
too.
the ass end of every single one of those.
Me
Fuck
too,
y'all.
yo.
Hey, fuck y'all. Hey,
I
who
literally
thinks that
picked her
girl
to
like
lose
that?
decision because if it's a close decision, that all Angela Hill's L's are close decision losses. Some people even say there's a bunch of them that they say she was robbed in. Split decision, got robbed.
I got Hill winning the fight. I got Klein getting the decision. Does that makes sense?
Yeah, and yeah. So I disagree that that's a good underdog play, but I like that she's your I like that she's your underdog to pick.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Well,
I
fine.
don't care.
Let me tell you my underdog.
Bet on my girl.
Let
Bet
me
on my
tell you.
girl.
Let me tell you my underdog then. Gerald motherfucking Mearshart, bruh.
Oh my god. Bro,
Listen,
no
bro.
fucking way.
Listen, bro. He's the best we've ever seen in that goddamn octagon. I think that if anybody is a betting man and you want to make some money, he's a good underdog to pick. It's not for sure he's gonna win. Like it's kind of like one of those things where it's like I wouldn't bet the house on this guy as an underdog play, but if you sit there and you bet a little bit of money on, let's see, just on Tapology alone, he's a plus 360 underdog. I don't know what he would be in the betting websites or the casinos, if you will. But if he's that much, I'd put $1 or $2 on him, man. It's worth it, man. Meerschaert, you can't hate on Meerschaert. He's done well. He gets smacked though. It's likely if he doesn't get smacked out of the first round, he can be a problem. He's like a lesser Neil Magny, but he has a really big problem. He's going against Kyle Dawkins, who looked fucking amazing in his comeback fight last week, or not last week, but it felt like last week. How long ago was it really? I don't even know. 2 months ago,
Like,
almost 3 months ago, he fought Michel Pereira, and we all know he's a fucking crazy opponent, and he fucking handled him with fucking ease. That's why he's and Meerschaert's coming off a 3-fight skid loss, and it's looking good for Dawkins. But hey, if the line is that low, put a couple bucks on your boy. You might fucking get a decent return. That's all I wanted to mention. You got to put a tiny bit of respect on my boy Meerschaert name. Also, my boy Swayze used to train with him. That's why I have a little special place in my heart for him.
Okay, that's cool. But see, I'm gonna do what you did to TJay earlier, and I'm gonna go back to a statement that you said within that, where you said that you can't hate on Meerschaert. Fuck that! I hate that man. He is poo poo, and I want you to clip that forever. Like that dude, like no, like brother. There's no way he gets past Dawkins at all. I don't see it in any future. That man eats jabs, and he eats them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like consistently. He's a dead man. If you want to lose your $3 that Mark just said bet, go ahead, put it on him. You're gonna lose your $3 and you'll be fucking pissed. But clip this and then come back to it. Like I should have listened to Afro because Gerald Meerschaert is pure shart. He is doo poop, dog, loser, dude.
This is Kyle's fight to win, but if Meerschaert, I don't have the name on hand right now, but I know there's been a few fights where it's been the same kind of attitude. Oh, this is going to be this guy's fight. He should be able to get Meerschaert out, no problem. Next thing you know, Meerschaert's pulling him into the third round decision, possibly down 2 rounds against him.
I'll be so mad.
I personally have Dawkins winning, but I think Gerald can get it done. Does he? Probably not, but the opportunity is there for sure.
Yeah, and that underdog play, I knew you guys would come with good underdogs. I looked at the 2, and I knew like the few that was actually good plays. So I figured I'd give my boy Swayze a little bit of a rub, you know what I mean? But his last wins, Gerald Meerschaert, just to kind of put y'all on to Gerald, he's got a most recent win is against Edmund Shabazian. Kind of a good fucking fighter, kind of good name.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brian Barberena, one of TJay's fucking homies. That's one of TJay's homies, dog. So
and
never
that was
forget.
One of the fights going in where I was like, "That's Brian's fight," because I think that was right after Barberena just knocked out somebody. And he kind of had some.
Was it Robbie Lawler? Or no, he got knocked out by Robbie Lawler, didn't he?
No, he lost to Robbie.
Did you? So you had him on a podcast before, right, Brian Barberena? Or what happened with that?
So in like 2020, 2021, I was doing Instagram interviews. I had Brian Barberena. I had Juan Adams, who at the time was in the heavyweight division. He was fighting Greg Hardy. Brian, funny story, actually forgot about the interview. So I was sending him a message. I started the live. He never showed up. So I was like, okay, give me 5 minutes. I sent him a message. He apologized, went live, and this guy is in the middle of his field, sitting on a hay bale, wearing the straw hat, overalls, and no shirt. So me and him talked MMA, shoot the shit for like 45 minutes, and he's just chilling in the middle of his farmer's field.
Hell yeah.
Really cool guy, though. Like, really, really cool guy.
We might have to watch that back if it's not too bad. I know sometimes your old stuff embarrasses you, but if that was a good one, we might have to watch that on stream one time.
I can see if I can pull it from the archives on Instagram, but I don't think I have it saved anywhere.
Oh, man. Come on, man.
I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I was just like, yeah, live interviews. That's it.
Yeah.
Rookie mistake.
Yeah, and Brian Barberena, we all have our like fighters that probably won't be champion, but we love, man. That's the thing. Afro talking about his favorite fighter of all time, Jim Miller.
Jim Miller, baby.
Is he
He's
ever
got
going to be
another
champ?
run. He's got fucking like 10 more title runs if he chooses, bro. If he chooses, he's just being nice to the division and letting them shine. That's it.
Okay.
60-year-old Jim Miller walking around the welterweight strap.
Double strap. He's gonna be a double champ by then.
So now we can get into it, man. I'm excited to talk about this. I want to know everybody's opinion. We are agreeing a lot, which is okay. That means that the MMA marks all can see what the same. So we got Shevchenko taking on Weili Zhang, or Zhang Weili, however it's supposed to say. And the Chinese names always get confusing because I don't know what you're supposed to say first. But we got Zhang taking on Shevchenko. I think Zhang is very underrated or whatever, or underappreciated, I guess. Maybe it's because she's not so big on the English. She's getting better, but it's like she's not a real big fan favorite in a lot of ways. But overall, I don't think that she's going to touch Shevchenko. I know that there might be some people that think that. I think that any little criticism you have towards Shevchenko, I think that it literally is the same thing as the John Jones syndrome or whatever. These great fighters, you see one little fucking one instance in a fight where they're not completely dominant and everybody talks like they're fucking bad fighters when they still beat 99% of the fighters out there. It was just a bad fight stylistically, bad matchup stylistically for them, and they had a not so great performance. Shevchenko is one of the greatest of all time, especially in the women's division. But even if you compare her to a lot of male fighters, man, she's a very she's a fucking super secret spy, bro. I think Shevchenko, I would say by decision, to be honest. And it's just because it's a women's fight, it's not likely to get a finish, statistically. So Shevchenko by decision for me. Who, TJay, you want to go? I see you over there getting antsy, pulling out your goddamn hair, trying to talk. I'm kidding.
So if this weight class, or if this fight was in the same weight class, if they both weighed the same, I would 100% give this fight to Weili. And the reason I say that is, I think it was the Manon Fiorot fight when Valentina just did not look like she was all there. No, I'm not gonna say nobody. I didn't expect that fight to go 5 rounds. I think if there was a fight to get finished for Valentina should have finished Manon. I know people say she's a great kickboxer and she's a very good stand-up, but if Valentina really is on that John Jones level of things, then that should have been a quicker fight than it was. Weili, dude, I've been a fan of Weili since Joanna. When Joanna came out looking like Megamind, dude, I don't think there's anybody that can finish Weili. The only thing that's not making me say Weili's going to win is the weight difference. Valentina's got that 10 pounds naturally. Valentina also has, I think, a good 3 or 4 inches on height, which, the reach is automatically there too. So, I don't know. I literally sat down right before this podcast, before I even joined the Discord, and was trying to think for like 15, 20 minutes who wins this fight, and I couldn't put a name to paper. I think it's going to be a 5-round fight. It will be a decision. I think it's going to be close as hell. I hope Weili comes out on top, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I can't pick one. It's back and forth.
Hell yeah. What about you, Afro? Who you leaning towards in this fight, in this matchup?
So in this matchup, it's kind of like I'm feeling the same way, like kind of as everybody. Just on the other side a little bit though, where like this is going to be a back and forth matchup for real. I do see it being like this fight finishing in 3 ways. It's either going to go to decision between both of them, or it's going to be Shevchenko by a head kick knockout, or it's going to be Weili with a blitz and knocking Shevchenko out. So the criticisms on Shevchenko, I mean, I've been a fan of Shevchenko since she first joined the UFC. I've watched every Shevchenko fight. Do I know all of the Shevchenko women that Shevchenko's fought? No. I don't care about women's MMA that much. Sorry. But just overlooking the last fights that Shevchenko has been in, I'm not seeing.
No, did he cut out for you, TJ?
Yeah,
She,
yeah.
sh- she's
Oh, you're back. You're back.
He's back.
You cut out for a second.
I'm back.
Yep.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
No, you're good. You're good.
So Manon Fiort was the last fight for Valentina, and after that, it's just like a list of who the fuck cares. And who's really to say Manon, Fiort isn't the same on the list of who the fuck cares because she got fed to Shevchenko for real.
Hmm.
But Waylay, man, she's dominated in her weight class and she's beaten some fucking solid names, as we all know. When it comes down to like fucking Joanna Jędrzejczyk, it comes down to Rose Namajunas. She's got solid names, man. She's got some real solid names that like they've had reach, they've had height. Waylay did lose to Rose. That's why I said that I could see Shevchenko sleeping Waylay with a head kick knockout. Because Waylay got slept with the head kick by Rose.
Yeah.
And it was a perfect setup at that as well. So like Shevchenko and her kickboxing, I could see that getting pulled off.
Shevchenko versus Shevchenko knocking out Jessica Ai, just for example. She could be the same way. Had Jessica Ai out for like 10 minutes. It was insane. It sounded like a bat hitting her head.
I could see that. But in Shevchenko's last performances, don't get me wrong, like I'm not like super like trying to criticize her like the Jones bullshit, but in my opinion, her fighting style has changed from when I first saw her fight to now when I see her fight. When I first saw her fight, I mean, let's all really be honest here. Joanna Shevchenko won. When it was just fucking body kick after body kick after head kick after head kick, like it was amazing. Yeah. You don't see that anymore out of Shevchenko. I don't know if it's because she's trying to be more methodical or more tactical or whatever it may be. Maybe she's more like, oh, I don't have to be that active anymore. Maybe that's what it is. But it's not the same fighting style that I've seen in her earlier career. And that made really, if you think about Valentina and you think about Joanna, their styles are so similar. That's what made their names for each other. It's how active and fucking busy they were during the fights, and and not only how active and busy, but how it landed. That they were doing it so effortlessly. Like, oh, here's this 3-piece combination: jab to the face, to the body, to the face again, boom, boom, boom. They fucking made it look so smooth. With the body kicks too, fucking rolling with the hips and
Donald
the combinations that they would do.
Cerrone-esque,
Yeah,
like cowboy.
Exactly. The kickboxing was flowing so effortlessly with them in the earlier career, where it's not the same. It's not as flowy, in my opinion. Maybe it's more strategic, maybe it's more methodical. But if that's the case, if you come out thinking too long against Waylay, she might land on the chin. She might have enough time to put something on your chin and sleep you. So, like I said, there is multiple ways that I can see it going. I'm leaning more towards Waylay. I love Waylay. I love everything that she's about. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a Shevchenko hater. I love Shevchenko as well. But Waylay for me.
Okay, so I think that other than you guys both rooting for Waylay, we all agree that the main factor of the co-main event is how bad is the fall off. It has Shevchenko really fallen off. And I also wanted to mention the weight difference is a factor, but they did weigh in exactly the same. I know that tomorrow is a different deal, but they both came in at 124.6 officially. At least that's what it says on Tapology. I didn't watch the weigh-ins to see exactly everybody's weight like that. I skimmed through that shit, but I just like watching the face-offs. I don't think she's falling off, but if she did, I want Waylay to fucking put a stamp on it, like you guys are saying. That would be tight.
Yeah.
Speaking of the weight, just real quick, I don't know if you guys saw or not, but Beneil Dariush missed by 2 pounds.
Yes.
The fight's still on, but yeah. Is that his age kind of coming into
No.
to show a little bit? Is that weight cut getting a little? No, you don't think so?
100%.
Isn't he in his 40s?
100%. It was a strategic move. He didn't want to cut as much weight. Who's he fighting again? I remember looking at this and knowing that he meant that shit. He's fighting
Benoit.
he's fighting Benoit Saint Denis, and that is a big ass 155er. He's like really big for the weight class. I think Dariush made a strategic move and said, "I'll take a fucking dip in my purse in order to keep my win to win, because the extra weight, the less cut he had to do, the better he potentially will perform from watching experience. The guy who misses weight, a lot of times he can really utilize that. And I think that he just said, I'm going to get down to an acceptable weight, but still not try to cut too hard. I think he did it on purpose.
It's very
yes.
possible. Very, very possible.
Yep.
So I'm not sure, but I think we all agree that Islam is going to win.
Yeah.
I would say that I'm about, if we're doing a scale, I'm about 9 out of 10 confident that Islam's going to win. I feel. I understand that it's a question whether or not he will be able to do what he does to bigger guys at 170, but Islam is not exactly a smaller dude. He just usually cuts a lot of weight. I don't know, man. I just feel like the Dagestani wrestling and everything else it's proven. Yes, Jack Della Maddalena is a great fighter who has been proven everyone wrong who thought he couldn't do what he's been doing. But man, he's getting a fucking hard test. So so who do you guys got? TJ, you want to start things off here?
Yeah, so on the whole card, out of every pick that I've made, my only 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, whatever, 100% certain pick has been Islam. I think too many people are giving JDM the credit for the Bilal fight. Just to remind you, Bilal, who is a world-class wrestler, should have went in there, should have taken down JDM, should have just smothered him for 5 rounds, decided he wanted to show he had Canelo boxing hands. I think he attempted 2 takedowns, both being in the 5th round. Yeah, I think Islam's not going to stray away from the game plan. He's not going to try and prove that he's some world-class boxer or world-class kickboxer. He's going to go in and stick to father's plan. He's going to take him down, maybe after a few jabs land, water up those eyes a little bit, blast a takedown, get him down, work the handcuff, work the leg locks. Yeah. I see Swayze saying Islam's going to gas, but I think it's going to be easier for Islam than people are saying. I think Islam's he's not going to put much energy into it. He's just going to go take him down, look for a submission, or just lay on top of him. This is not, it's Russian, man. Double champ status. That's all he cares about. He doesn't care how he wins.
Afro?
I definitely agree. When it came to my pick for the main, it definitely was Islam. My confidence level on that, I would have to say, is like a 9 out of 10. I don't want a 10 out of 10 it because it's MMA. MMA, anything can happen in MMA. So, like, yeah, could Islam get a fucking 3-piece, 4-piece combo and go to sleep? Yeah, he's shown he's been hurt. He's shown that he gasses. He hasn't shown it recently, like in the easy method. Like he's not gassing in a 5-round fight by the 3rd round. He's gassing in the 5th round, fighting 22 minutes already, 23 minutes. Which is very understandable. Like fucking, if you've ever fought that long, you'd know how tired you are for real. Then fucking sucks.
Brother, I was tired after a minute and a half. Shit.
Yeah, dude, amateur bouts fucking suck. Not to sidetrack, amateur bouts suck. The time limit's so short, so everybody in amateur bouts figures, hey, I'm throwing the whole fucking kitchen sink and the counter at you within the first minute and a half. Good luck.
Yeah,
minutes
because the rounds are only 2 minutes typically. You get 2-minute rounds, and they go 3 minutes. So, yeah, every fucking start. If you've never done amateur MMA, I can guarantee you that's how it's going to start anywhere you go. However
Yeah.
you start it, it's going to be 2-minute rounds, and everyone in those fights, either you're going to get bullied or you're going to do the bullying. That's how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just fucking, but yeah, Islam, he's gassing in 20, 22 minutes, 23 minutes, man. So like, I'm not worried about the cardio. I feel the grappling is going to be there 100%. Um, no, nobody tests. Nobody can replicate the Dagestani grappling unless it's a Dagestani. So like, you can work on your wrestling takedowns. You can work on your wrestling defense, but it's not going to be the same, brother. It's going to be 100% different of how this motherfucker's hooking your wrist behind you and locking you and then doing a little simple sweep and shit. So 9 out of 10 pick on Islam for sure for the main event fight for me.
So I just want to get this locked in because I want to just see what you guys want to pick. TJ, did you say a round and a fashion? And Afro, you pick first. What round, what fashion does Islam get it done?
So there's 2 ways for me. There's kickboxing, where he wants to stand up and display that he's a better striker than JDM, which that will be a round 4 TKO. If he wants to do Islam style, though, I feel like he'll get it done round 2 submission.
Oh yeah. And what about you, TJ? I think you might have said it, but I don't remember what you said.
So I also have 2. Neither of them include JDM winning. Islam will either submit him in the first 3 rounds, probably later, like 2 or 3 after JDM starts feeling the pressure of it, or he gets a decision. It really depends if Islam's coming out for the finish or if he's coming to win.
Yeah, and you know what? I completely agree with both you guys on that. I kind of look at it like that. Like, what the thing that's going to decide how far this fight goes, how long this fight goes, is how if JDM can stand up. It's not whether or not Islam's going to get the takedown. It's can JDM get up? Can JDM get out of the Dagestani handcuffs? Can he prevent that from happening? If not, it's going to be a quick night or a long night. Either way, it's like that's a big factor. But I think it's either, like you said, either like as soon as he gets him down, it could be a finish, or it might be just a long, long night for JDM getting grapple fucked. But there's lots of people throughout this week that has been coming in chat discussing it with us, the community, and lots of people actually disagree with us. They think that Jack Della Maddalena is going to be the one. And and a lot of people are calling that against Bilal Muhammad, and they bring Bilal Muhammad up a lot. I love that you fucking brought up that Bilal Muhammad was saying he wanted to show off his Canelo hands. And to my point, Bilal Muhammad is a great grappler, but he's not straight up Islam Makhachev, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Umar Nurmagomedov. He's not a fucking Dagestani. He just hangs with the boys. He's not one of the boys.
Disciplined.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, you in with the crowd, but you ain't one of them. Like, it's different. So yeah,
you might be hanging around outside, but you're not joining the hot tub session.
And I also just wanted to address a chat real quick. We haven't been addressing chat too much. We appreciate all of it. We're laughing along with you, but we also want to get this podcast, keep it on the podcast special. And I hope that if you guys are just tuning in and seeing us for the first time, you come through and we interact with chat a lot more. We go live every day, but this is the podcast show. Just, the MMA Marks podcast. We revamped it, and we appreciate everybody being here. Tony Montana coming in, or Tony the dishwasher coming in, crying, laughing. We're all talking our shit, man. It's fun as hell. And I hope that you guys come through and talk more MMA with us while we do our other live shows. Now let's get to a fun segment that we weren't really sure of. We said we were going to flip a coin on air. We're going to decide whether we're going to talk about a what if scenario or a rule breakdown. Here we go. I'm going to flip a coin right here in front of y'all. Let's see if I can even catch that bitch. Heads, we go what if. Tails, we go the rule breakdown type shit, like what it is, what it should be, this and that and the other. We're not finishing. I didn't even catch it. We're not finishing the podcast. I just wanted to take time because we got past the fight picks. Now we're getting into the fun stuff. Just the weekly stuff. Here we go. What do y'all think it is? Heads or tails, boys?
I'm hoping for tails.
I'm hoping it's the what if.
It's a what if. Heads.
Okay.
It's hard to show, but it was heads, y'all. See, I just put that's George Washington on a quarter for you non-Americans. I'm not necessarily sure if you guys want to pick one what if, or do you guys have your what ifs? Because I have a what if that I would like to bring up as well. So we each get a what if. It's gonna be a long thing.
It was sort of like two.
Okay.
I guess, but it's like it kind of flows into the same one. Oh, you guys want to hear it?
Yeah, let's do it. Motherfucker, I thought you was getting. You have the spotlight, bro. Do you want us to turn off our cams so you have the main stage?
Oh, if you could.
That dramatic pause. All of us were waiting, and you're like, "Do you guys want to hear it?" Like, motherfucker, we're waiting.
I thought like TJay was gonna come in like, "Oh yeah, I also had."
Nah, tell us yours. Right. You got the stage, brother. You tell us.
Hey guys, so what if, right? This is the first phase, that Anderson Silva never broke his fucking leg in the rematch against Weidman.
Say that one more time.
What would happen to? What if Anderson Silva didn't break his leg in the rematch with Chris Weidman after he lost? So Anderson wins, right? He gets put back in the spotlight that Anderson was in before he got knocked out by Weidman, right?
Okay. So he wins the comeback fight. You're saying if he didn't break his leg, are we saying that he definitely won, or is this what if how the fight would go? That's what we need to know, or I would want to know so I can specifically answer.
So like his career, I guess. Like what would be the next fight?
So he definitely won Weidman if he didn't break his leg.
Yep,
that's what we're in agreement with.
He got the belt. He's back in good graces. Who's the next fight for Weidman at the time?
You mean
Silva? Yeah, Silva at the time. Like, because that was like the Gastelum still. I think Uriah Hall was on the come up around then.
Yeah. You know what? I think that would have kept GSP's interest. And I think we might have actually seen GSP versus Silva at more closer to their primes. I know that didn't happen, but you know what I mean. Like both of them wasn't really too far into their career. When GSP finally went up, it was because it was Michael Bisping at 185, but GSP did go up and become a double champ, if you will. So yeah, I think that would have made that fight happen if Anderson never broke his leg. What about you, TJay?
So
sorry. Go ahead. You can take the floor.
No. Anderson to the double leg double legend status. Yep. Fuck yeah.
I was kind of thinking the same thing. He probably would have fought GSP. GSP probably would have wiped the floor with them. And then, do we have the Anderson Silva we know today, or do we do not to say that the leg break was a good thing, but what if it low key was a blessing in disguise? Because I think GSP takes out Silva. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but so if he loses to GSP, does he lose a lot of his stock? Because we've had guys in the past who I can't even think of a name of them right now, who were these guys like the big dog at top, and they lose to somebody who is also a big dog, and then they get thrown to the wayside. I guess a big one, Kamaru. Nobody's talking about Kamaru anymore, but when he was champion, he was the guy. Nobody was beating Kamaru.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't ever thinking about this, but I want to bring up a what if. I guess this is a roundtable of what ifs, but since we're on the subject of it was a possibility at one point. Anderson Silva and GSP in their primes against each other. That was, if you watch back then, that's all the fights everybody ever talked about was GSP versus Silva. I gotta say that I can tell you think GSP. I mean, you just said GSP would win that. I think Silva would have knocked him out in both of their primes. I think Silva with the length. I think that it like in you know, a lot of times we bring up previous fights. Just think about Carlos Condit and what he did to fucking GSP. Think about what Jimi Hendrix did to GSP.
But this is where I counter you then, sir. Because then you want to think of like fights and bring up shit like that. First of all, GSP, I feel like has 100% way better wrestling than Chael Sonnen. And if I recall it right, Silva versus Sonnen, Sonnen was controlling Silva the entirety of the match until he got thrown into a sub into the very last round. So like, I don't think Silva in their primes would have the answer to the grappling that GSP would bring to the table for real. And then, like, you're definitely not throwing them in no bullshit sub. GSP was a black belt by then. Like, you're not. I mean,
Okay,
I don't know what belt Cho was, but
let me counter you with something that kind of shits on your point.
Sarah got knocked out.
No, about Chael Sonnen and how his grappling was. Chael Sonnen admittedly was juiced to the gills and during his UFC career. So yeah, he was on all kinds of PEDs, anyone he could try to get away with. He got caught eventually, and now he's open about it that he was fucking juiced to the gills as much as he could. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, but GSP is clean, you know, as far as we know. So there is that factor too, that maybe Chael with his dominant grappling was really due to the performance enhancing drugs he was taking. But that's a fight that we'll never see, unfortunately. But maybe one time on the live, we'll have to pull up a simulated fight for those two.
What if, baby? What if?
Yeah. Did you have another what if? Or go ahead, TJ. Or whatever, whoever is next. Go to your second one, TJ. Afro.
I was just gonna say before I close it out, the second one was just dealing with like, what if he never got knocked out by Weidman in the first place? But I'm pretty sure it would lead down the same career path. So that's all.
Yeah, he would be literally, if he beat Weidman and never lost to Weidman, the confidence would have projected him even better in his career, and I think that he would be undeniably the greatest of all time if that happened. Yeah. Just put that on there. What about you, TJ? What's your what if or whatever? Or if you want to speak on that.
My what if was almost what happens if Chael doesn't get triangle choked by Anderson. I didn't go with that, but it was very, very close to being my one. I ended up picking what if Tom never got eye poked. I know it's a bit more recent. It's not you know, old school stuff, but it's one that's being talked about a lot right now, and it's one that I want to cement my final opinion on, and I think this is how I stand on it. Tom Aspinall would have won that fight. When the fight immediately ended, and I was like, okay, like John beats him, Serial was winning the fight. I went back and I rewatched it. The stats were a lot closer than people give Tom credit for. Tom was starting to find himself, starting to pick up his pace. Serial did deny one takedown, but that was early in the first round. Who's to say, you know, 2 rounds later, or a round and a half later, he can still do that. Serial, it's the same thing every round. He's going to come out, he's going to try and body kick you, he's going to try and jab you in the face, he's going to try and poke you in the eye. And if Aspinall never gets poked in the eye, Serial doesn't make it out of the third round. And I'm steadfast on that. And then we get John Jones and Aspinall at the White House. That's a fight that would have been actually buildable now if Serial never poked Tom in the eye.
Yeah. Afro, you want to speak on this?
So, I guess on that, what if Aspinall never got eye poked, I feel like he was going to get his ass handed to him still. He was getting tore up. I mean, the stats may have been close, but from what I was can recall, I'm pretty sure Cyril was touching him with the jab quite often. And Cyril's movement, man, is just fucking It's hellacious. It's a shame that the motherfucker doesn't know how to close his hands, so he doesn't eye poke people. But I feel like it was gonna be a bad night for Aspinall, and it was his way to, like, yeah, bad eye poke. We see it now. We hear that he's out and shit like that. Terrible fucking. So you can't fault him for pulling out the fight. But if that never happened, uh, he was gonna get slept,
Yeah.
and then you would have a
Get slept.
yeah. I feel like don't get me wrong, it's not gonna be like a fucking like amazing like TKO where it's just like oh you're crumbling. But I feel like the damage would have stacked up on Aspinall eventually, where like maybe TKO, ground T finish, TKO, cage finish, TKO, something like that. Um, he already had the nose busted up pretty
Yeah.
bad by the end of the first and
No,
shit.
it was
So
early in the first, and I think that's what played a big factor. He busted his nose. He couldn't breathe out of his nose. He was mouth breathing
yeah,
early, and it was fucking up his cardio. Cyril looked great
Cyril looked very,
Cyril
very good.
Cyril looked good.
until
I
he
don't
poked
think it
eye.
was gonna be. Yeah, I don't think it was gonna be much different if I poke didn't happen for real. And then you would have a stagnant division still because you can't have Cyril gone calling out John Jones. That's just never gonna fucking happen a day ever again. He had his opportunity and he fucking blew it, being mesmerized like Anthony Smith was. Like you can't when you're in the fight game, you can't be mesmerized and fucking awed, shocked and awed by another man. Like you're in there to fight, so fucking fight. And he blew that opportunity. So even if he won, uh, it would have been like, well, what's fucking next for the heavyweight division? Aspinall shit now. It's a recycle. Cyril's at the top. The only thing that I would see would make sense was in Book Blades versus Gone.
Yeah.
Fucking, I don't know.
Give
Yeah.
Almeida the next shot. Book Blades versus Gone. Winner gets the shot after that.
Wait, no, isn't it Volkov? Didn't Volkov
Or
get that last win?
Yeah, but that win
yeah,
was weird. It was a weird win.
It was a
it was a
trash
messy
win. I
decision.
know.
I remember that.
He was
I
getting
know. I
control,
know. I
but
know.
beating him from the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the judges started just smarting up a little bit. They don't just
Yeah.
you can't just hold someone down.
Yeah,
It was trash, but it was understandably trash.
It was kind of like Volkov didn't necessarily win, but the other guy lost the fight for being a bitch.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
You know. So like, if you give any of those to Gon, I mean, well, Gon would have the belt if he would have beaten Aspinall. So you would have to probably choose Volkov at that point.
Yeah.
Because Volkov won. So
Yeah.
yeah. That's the what if take on, from Afro on that.
Yeah. And for me, I think that I seen that fight. Like we seen enough of that fight to know that the major factors would be, can Aspinall recover enough to catch him? Because it was going to be a losing fight from then on. Aspinall was playing catch up. Right when he got his nose busted, you could tell it just changed him completely. And the one thing about Aspinall that we haven't seen much of is him going the distance. He doesn't really even leave the first round often, if at all. I can't remember. But
I think one time it was an early second round finish.
Aspinall's only path to victory at that point, before the eye poke, still was looking like he had to find the finish because he was not going to beat him in the points because he was already too far behind physically with damage and stuff. So we got right here, we got Michigan saying a nice or a fun what if that I like. What if Nick Diaz never got suspended over a fucking plant? You know, a lot of us, when that happened, I remember everyone being fucking pissed. They literally took away Nick Diaz's career. It was like a 4-year suspension for popping for marijuana. And it's like, bro, so many people smoke weed. Most of us smoke weed in this community. And it's like, some people, I think Demetrius Johnson recently said that he tried it and went and did some work in the sparring department and stuff. And he said that he never felt better, actually, when he was because of THC kind of helped him flow and helped him, just not feel the same. But that being said, I think Nick Diaz would probably be a lot better placed as a person. He recently had a weird video where he was talking to a fucking bush and all up in it or whatever the fuck was going on, because he's doing a little bit harder drugs than marijuana at this point. And
Yeah.
I think Nate Diaz's career would be better if Nick Diaz didn't get fucking suspended, bro. It is a very, very unfortunate suspension in the world of MMA. So yeah, I think that that's a big what if.
For something so meaningless, man. Just a fucking play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, my what if is probably pretty obvious to anyone who's followed me for years. And that's, what if Dan Henderson did get injured right before the Jones fucking title fight that he had scheduled? And that's in case you don't know, that's the one card, the UFC pay-per-view card that they canceled. I don't know if it's pay-per-view, but it probably was. It was a light heavyweight title fight. But because Jones wouldn't take a last-minute replacement fucking opponent, the few that got offered, they literally canceled the whole card. It fucked everybody's money up. You fucked up the whole card's paycheck. Jones did. You can't really put that on fucking Dan Henderson for getting injured last minute or whatever. Dan Henderson's much older, much different style of fight. He's more from the old school days. But what if he does make that fight? I want to know what you guys think. Afro, I
think
guess.
he's still good.
Like, neither one.
I think Henderson was good, man. I don't want to shit on him because I know he's your favorite. But at the time that Henderson would have fought Jones, it would have been a brother. It would have been a bad night for Henderson.
He earned a title shot, though. He did earn it.
Yeah, no. He did earn it. He did earn it. No, he was ragdolling people, fucking knocking them out, still fucking TKOs, fucking. Oh, he was doing work to get up, earn that title shot. I won't deny that from him. But John Jones at the time is just a different animal, a different breed. Even if Henderson would have took him down, Jones would have figured out real quick how to solve that mystery real quick, get back up to the feet, fucking clinch you up, and then now look, I'm taking you down. Jones, we've all watched Jones's career and we know how he handles his opponents. He fucking mirrors everybody he fucking fights. It's like, oh, you're a boxer? Oh, I'm gonna stand up and box with you now. Boop, 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 fuck you up. Oh, you're a grappler? Well, I'm gonna show you how to grapple. I'm gonna clinch you, I'm gonna take you down. Boom, boom. Fucking it wasn't until like Jones's last fights that I think he's been playing it more so, okay, I'm gonna do what I want to do. Like I'm just gonna take Cyril Gane here against the cage. Here, give me your leg. No, your neck. Done. Fucking that's Jones now. As he's doing what he wants to do. But
yeah.
Against Dan Henderson at that time, man, it would have just been bad. He would have caught fucking some crazy shit for real. He would have been another highlight of a legend that Jones killed, like Lyoto against the cage. Like, I'm pretty sure you can appreciate not seeing your legend die. Like Lyoto, dead. We all have that clip. We all know what I'm talking about. We've all seen it. Lyoto, dead. Rashad, dead. Fucking Shogun, dead.
Vitor Belfort, dead.
The list goes on. So
Shogun.
Dan Henderson, I think, made it safe. He had the safe route of just like, oh, I got injured, it got canceled, and now fuck. Because he would have been in just another clip.
TJ?
Yep. I'm pretty much on par with Afro on that one. I think Henderson has the hands, the power in his hands to finish that fight, but I think him getting injured saved his life. Like, I think if he didn't, John Jones would have went in there, he would have sliced him up with the elbows. When he let Henderson get in range, he would have picked him apart from the distance. He would have taken him down. He would have ground and pounded him. I think Hendo would have gotten a lot of head trauma that day, a lot of scar tissue, unless he hit him with that right hand. But you can't. John Jones is so freakishly lengthy that it's nearly impossible for anybody to be able to find their way inside at that time. Recently, people have been
safely.
Figure something up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to change his name to fucking Dan Liddell at that point with all the head trauma that he's got. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
As much as I would have liked to see Hendo knock out Jones and get that belt, especially where their careers were at the time, I think John could have recovered. I think Hendo could have used that send off. I just don't think that's what was going to happen.
okay. Well, my little 2 cents on that whole spiel. I think everybody knows where I stand, but couple little tidbits to tell you. These, if in case chat doesn't know this, these guys did end up meeting in a match, but it was like a grappling match.
grappling.
Jones
Yeah.
Jones pretty much dominantly subbed fucking Henderson. But
I think
the
it was
thing,
Submission Underground 2, by the way.
but the factor that I kind of, was leaning like, or at least I could comfortably root for Dan Henderson in that fight at the time before, during the build up, was at the time Jones was the guy who was telling everybody, I'm not just this, I'm not just that. I like to beat these legends at their own game. So I was thinking, not Dan Harrison, John Jones was going to come out there and try to get a walk-off knockout, something like that. If he would have tried to beat Dan Henderson at his own motherfucking game, that would have given Dan Henderson a lot more opportunities to get that puncher's chance. That's the only factor that I like to kind of play with in my head with the what ifs, because Jones had a different mentality about the whole UFC and the martial arts scene back then.
That's very true.
But I guess, did I see another one in chat that was interesting? Let me see.
So I seen one by Anger. What if Tony didn't trip on the wire?
Exactly. Okay, that was the one. Anger Management, our homie, or a friend of our podcast. We appreciate you. And, I have to say this. Back then, I thought Tony was going to fucking kill Khabib. I thought he was the one. But hindsight, 2020, I think after we've seen Tony in some other fights and other grappling situations in these other fights, I have to say that I think Khabib would have fucking wiped the floor with him, finished him probably first round, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'll keep mine short and simple, just for time wise. But yeah, agreed. Like Khabib would still do the dominating and control.
Yeah.
No more even needs to be said on that.
Some of the best elbows from the bottom.
Yeah.
But what's that gonna get you against Khabib, dog? Nothing.
Exactly.
Like, nah. All right, well, let's see. That almost concludes everything. We other than that, we got the little bit of a chat wrap. See if anybody has any last minute call outs or last minute. Right now is the time to talk your shit. If you want to make a statement in chat, do it now. But other than that, man, we really enjoyed talking to you guys. We hope that this keeps continuously. We hope to see you guys coming back in chat next Friday at 8 p.m. We're going to be doing the pre-fucking fight podcast before every UFC every week. Look to see us here. Look to come in here and talk your shit, make clips so we can fucking shit on each other. And also do us a favor, follow us on those social media, because then you can talk to us even more in there. Discord as well. We're just trying to build a community here as well as kind of put on a show.
You can catch me live on Mr._Afro_Disiac on Twitch, as well as that's my Instagram handle as well. If you care about my personal life, if you'd say, you can go follow me on there. And then as well, after this show, you can catch us live again. I'm going live 5 minutes after the show. So
and I won't be far behind him. I'll probably take a 15-minute break, kind of get myself together. TJay, would you like to say any closing statements to everybody? Any like hype call outs? I know you're about to fight somebody. Maybe I'm making shit up.
Yeah, no, I'm not about to fight. I'm about to fight. If I were to fight Greg Hardy, you can call my phone anytime. I will fight you any place, anywhere. But besides that, follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to get that page back up and going. TJay Saunders MMA, TJay Saunders. Also on Facebook. I'm kind of a bit more active over on my Facebook, but I'm trying to get back into Instagram. Also, after the stream is over, I will be streaming the LFA fights in Discord. If you're trying to catch some fights now, just got you in the vibe of the podcast. So, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And my final closing statement, I would just want to say I thank everybody for being here. A lot of you guys are staples of the community. Some of you guys are new. Some of you guys didn't chat if you're brand new sometimes. But I hope that you get more comfortable as you see us. Like I said, we're live almost pretty much every day. But the podcast is going to be Friday at 8. And I hope that you guys keep up. Maybe you guys can start getting involved with our social media and stuff because we're going to start posting a lot more. It's like who our hero and assholes of the week are. You guys can say, well, I didn't agree with MMA, buddy MMA Marks with his hero because his hero was a 0 or whatever, and you can get involved with us, man. And appreciate y'all pulling up. Stay violent. That's the show, y'all.
Yeah.